Hi, Mark here from Solidwoodmachinery. This is the Maka Mortiser STV model that I'm rebuilding. I'm just finishing up doing the electrical and plumbing on it. So the whole machine's been stripped and rebuilt. This machine originally had a router head unit on it, drill unit, which I've taken off, and it had a separate electrical panel which I've also removed. The head operates on a linear rail. This is the mortising head, and it now has a new electrical panel which I've cut and welded a smaller panel box inside here in the back. These are the main electrical connections that you don't need to access during the operation of the machine. What it has here is a control box here which will be mounted on the front, where these are the switches that you will use. So in setting up the new panel here, I've tried to simplify it. I've got rid of quite a lot of the components, and then I've set up a small panel that just controls the mortising head. And this is the feed system here. These are a couple of valves that I put on cylinders just to check the operation. And I usually have to do quite a lot of drawings and sketches of all the operations of the contactors and relays. So I've drawn it out here. Basically this is exactly how it's set up on here. So this is the switch panel here. You have two start switches, safety lockout with a twist to pull it on. This is the power on button. This is a chip removal pass, which means as the mortising head is cutting into the wood, if the shavings start to pile up in there, you can press and hold this and the head will temporarily come back, and when you let it go, it will continue feeding. This button here, it says tipping operation. What that is basically manual or automatic feed. So if you put it on this way, it'll be an automatic feed. As soon as you press the two start buttons, the head will start to feed forward, the motor will come on, and the clamps will come on. If you turn the switch over to this side, it's a manual operation, which means it'll only operate while you're pressing the two start switches. As soon as you let those go, the head will return to its starting position. At the starting position, when the head moves back, it'll hit this switch, which turns the motor and the clamps off. As the head moves forward, mortising head moves forward, it's going to bring this sensor with it, proximity sensor, and as that passes, a stop comes within close proximity to the stop, it will reverse the feed operation. So over here you have, this is the feed valve, and this is the clamping valve. This is a safety pressure switch, so that without air pressure nothing's going to happen, no feed, no clamps, nothing won't come on. Also, if this monitors the air pressure in here, if the air pressure drops below safe operating pressure, the machine won't operate either. So that's just a safety. You've also got another safety on the clamps. These are a single acting clamp with a spring return, but I have a locking valve here, so once you put air into it, the clamp stays on. Even if you cut the hose during operation, the clamp will stay on. And the clamp only releases when you give another shot of air through the black line there. So that's another extra safety feature on those clamps. Now, what I have set up here on the electrical panel is this is the main disconnect switch, turns the power off to the panel. For you to open the door, you have to turn this off. So that controls the main power in. It runs the power through to the power breaker here, power contactor, and when you turn it on, the power contactor pulls in and runs the main power through to the reversing switch. So this is forward, off, or reverse for the motor. That power runs round the back here to the motor contactor here. This goes on through thermal overload here and then off to the motor here. So the power is then tapped off. This is three-phase 230 or 460 volts, so the power is then tapped off here, two lines to give me the 110 volt control voltage here, and this goes to our controls here. So that's the power sequence. I haven't bothered drawing that on the drawing, I've just done the control sequences on here. So this is the motor contactor. I have two feed contactors, mostly because I need to interrupt the feed but not cut the power to the contactor. The interruption is when you're doing this chip removal pass. So the feed starts, you interrupt it, and it continues. So I need two contactors to do that. This is the power contactor, and this is the proximity sensor contactor, and this is the clamp contactor. So you turn the power on, and that'll, right now this is the motor, and the clamps are on because the switch is pressed in there. Let me see if I can. Okay, so normal position for the machine is with this switch depressed and everything's shut off. Power is run to the system and it's ready to go. To get it to go, you're going to have to press two start buttons, and then up here that pulls in the feed unit. The feed starts to go, that switch is released, that pulls in the clamps and the motor. Till you hit the proximity sensor, goes past metal object, and that will return the feed. When the motor returns the feed, this switches off, turns off the motor and the clamps. You also have an additional clamping set up here where if you want to turn the clamps on before the feed starts, you can press on here and this will turn the clamps on, hold them on until your feed starts. Okay, so that's the basic system set up. I've checked it and everything's working, functioning fine. So what I'm going to do now is try and get it all put in the machine and hooked up and do a test run on the machine. So I'll do another little video once I get it all put in. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon.